Alam naman natin na kulang talaga. Ano bang paraan? So, I think, Secretary, in addition to just giving me the list of vehicles, which is not very relevant, in fact, siguro, ang mabigay ninyo sana sa amin, are there any other safeguards that DSWD can undertake for your employees? At nakikita naman natin na nagtatakbuhan sila, naghahabol mula bangko, tapos may dadadalang cash, naka-backpack, sumasakay lang sa kung saan-saan mga taxi at saka nag-aangkas pa, kaya nakaka-nervyos. Yes, Secretary.
Madam Chair, as mentioned in the last hearing, we know na tight fiscal space so we can't keep on buying cars. At saka may driver yan, may MOE yan. We've already worked with Land Bank on farming out yung cashiering function to
Yes,
them.
but remember, that's always an issue kasi may awas yung payer.
Ma'am, meron naman kaming administrative costs where we can
Kaya
charge
nga,
that.
can't you source that from there?
We can, ma'am.
The
That-
other problem, of course, is that very often these marginal communities are found far, far away from any land bank.
No, ma'am, apparently, what Land Bank is doing with its partners like USSC
Yeah,
is they will
USSC.
now go to the payout center. So amin na lang yung validation and social intake, sila na yung kahero. I just went there
I
last
think
week.
you can also make arrangements with the local jeep and other your
we
local
do.
taxi facility.
Madam, we do. They are allowed to rent naman vehicles
no, but they're
naman.
renting on a one-to-one basis. Sana medyo pangkalahatan para mas safe naman yung ating mga empleyado. Nakaka-nervous, ang daming dalang cash eh.
That's well noted, ma'am. We'll look into a
Yeah, so
contract.
in
with them.
addition sana, kahit may land bank, at least meron na kayong suki, kumbaga, na merong arrangements with these transport companies. Kawawa naman eh. Lahat kami kinakabahan sa mga
Madam Chair,
batang namimigay eh.
we wanted to do that, but again, DBM circular ba yun? I'll work with DBM kasi may DBM circular rin on long-term rental arrangements. They only allow us 15 days. Then after 15 days, we'll have to request for
I think-
authority from them again.
Yes, can't you, no. Yes, yes, sorry, another matter. Yes,
Madam, ang nangyayari kasi we wanna engage
no,
in
what
a
I'm
long...
trying to say is that can't you have a contract with the transport supplier?
Madam, the DBM circular
Para
prevents
at least
us...
may kasiguraduhan.
Ma'am, ang problema ko in DBM circular prevents us from engaging long-term. Only 15 days, then we have to seek approval from DBM for a long-term contract, no? Long-term.
Yes, given that it's an internal arrangement, can't you have a word with Secretary Amina?
I will,
that
ma'am.
this is really-
I'll take notice and I'll work with her.
This is really becoming unnerving for millions and millions being carried on the backs of these poor JO some more.
Yes, ma'am.
JO na nakasakay pa ka sa kung saan, cash pa ang bit-bit, wala namang bantay, nakaka-nervyos eh.
Ma'am, we will do that.
Yes, so perhaps, yeah, you just gave me a list of vehicles which is not helpful. Siguro you can tell me what you're doing also to make certain that the employees are safer, the JOs are online to becoming contractual and thereafter becoming permanent. Okay, yes, there was a question about Lawa and Binhi. I think you submitted, this was item number 7. Something to do with the immigration, di ba? Ay, irrigation, Diyos ko, hindi na immigration.
Madam Chair, it's simply putting direction to our Cash for Work program for our poor communities. Given na nandyan na talaga yan sa amin, yung parang disaster mitigation fund namin, prevention.
Is this derived from the QRF?
No, ma'am. It's a separate line item called DRPCC-CAM. So, Disaster Resilience Program, Climate Change Adaptation and Mitigation. Nandun na ho yan talaga sa libro namin. It's a cash for work program na nilagyan lang ho namin ng direction rather than them doing other menial things.
Yeah, and you're doing it in tandem with NIA, I understand, not BSWM.
Ma'am, apparently it's with BSWM
There we go.
and NIA. Dalawa sila
Kaya nga
sabay.
nalilito ako kasi last time, ang sinabi ninyo, sa NIA, alam ko papel ng BSWM yan eh.
May stand corrected, silang dalawa ang kausap ho namin sabay.
Actually, magulo sila kasi yung NIA palipat-lipat rin, DA, ngayon back to OP na naman for the second time. So, magulo siya. Okay. That's fine. I think we're done with that and then we can go to the other questions. Yes, yes, I think you had some submissions on the SLP and these motor vehicles that are really not of interest. I think what's more of interest is to determine how to safeguard and secure all those bringing cash all over the place. Ano po ito? Yeah. I don't understand. Ano to? Yes. I think I had a question also about the creation of a disaster resilience department.
Ma'am, yun ho, you spoke about that in our last hearing.
Oo.
I was saying kasi ho, yung disaster arm ng DSWD, wala ho siyang bureau. Lahat sila contract of service. Kasi nga, the reason being, there was a drive then to create a disaster department at ililipat sila doon.
Correct.
Kaya puro contract of service rin yung buong department cluster namin on disaster response. That was the
they're also
context.
contractual?
Contract of service, ma'am.
Sorry. So JO pending creation of new department.
Yes, ma'am. But our plead now with DBM is to baka habang inaantay yun, baka pwede kami humingi ng mga regular positions also kasi parang hindi pa ho namin makita yung disaster department.
Right. There are child nutrition advocates in the Senate, and I'd like to ask some additional questions. With a supplemental feeding program, providing hot meals 5 to 7 days a week for 120 days. What's the distinction between the 5 times and those 7 times? 5 to 7 ang sabi.
5 days in a week kasi facilities-based siya.
Sorry?
We only do feeding 5 days a week because facility-based yan sa loob ng daycare.
Kaya nagtataka ako kasi may banggit dito 5 to 7 days. Nasa submission ninyo. Binabasa ko lang.
Ma'am, just for the record, it's 5 days.
Yeah, let's consider it a mistake.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ang nabigay sa akin 5 to 7.
5 days, ma'am.
Okay. The submitted report makes no mention on the final result of the feeding. What's the effect of the program? Height, weight, nutrition status? Is it successful? Ang hirap-hirap ng supplemental feeding, having been a governor for a long time, it doesn't work a great deal of the time. After 120 days, underweight pa rin yung bata.
Madam,
So, may resulta ba kayo nito?